Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Drinks and Daves. We'd like to say hi to all of our barflies and all of our lovely people sitting there. Please say hello to everybody. We've got a great show for you, but before we get started, we're the Daves.
What's
I'm
up, Dave?
Siskel Dave.
How
I'm doing good.
are
How are
you
you?
doing? The last time we joined you was after a weekend where they cut a power line and a water
Yes,
line, and
yes, a
is this
power
weekend
line
a
and
little
a water
better?
line. Yep, everything's good. Everything's good. A lot of errands this morning and stuff like that, but planning some other things for the yard. But yeah, all in all, good. And a couple cigars today and some yard work, and it's been a good day. How about you?
Beautiful. Yeah, we had a good weekend. It was beautiful weather, and we went to the cigar expo. I forget, not cigar, coffee,
Coffee.
coffee, whatever it was kind of just this huge building up in San Francisco, just filled with coffee vendors. And before we get too far,
Rich is here.
Rich is here. Rich, welcome, sir. Good to see you as always.
And also
Um,
Spider's here and Tig Lily. We need to, you know what we need to do? We need to get a spider that crawls across the screen.
oh, yeah, because you couldn't. What sound would a spider make?
What you just did reminded me of that Carol Burnett episode where Tim Conway was talking about the Siamese elephants
What?
and the monkeys. Oh, you got to see it. Just go on
I didn't.
YouTube, type
Never
in
heard
Tim
of that.
Conway and elephant, and you'll be laughing forever.
Yeah. So
Um,
anyway, we were at this coffee expo, whatever, and just mostly just a ton of coffee roasters and free samples, and sometimes just one, or sometimes they had several. So it's pretty interesting. I just remembered that
Hi, Dad.
apparently the trend now is into lighter fruity roast coffees, and that's not. I'm chocolate and nut kind of guy. I don't
Right.
like the tangy and all that stuff, but it is interesting. I mean, that's when you get into the nuances and stuff like that, right?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is there something we need to know about? Look at
Wait
the
a minute,
Amber
that's not.
Vizino. Did
Come
something
on.
happen that we don't know about?
Yeah, I
Interesting.
don't. I don't think so. So yeah, that's KJ's fiance now, as far as we
Well,
know,
or
taking his last name. I think this is like
you
in
don't
middle
know.
school, right? You would write your name out and like see what it looks like, and
Hello, Pantea. Welcome.
yeah. So anyway,
So,
so that was a lot of fun.
so they're going more to the lighter roasts and stuff like that.
Well, I think with the trend, these are all like small batch people. What was cool is one of them had, you can buy Colombian coffee, or you can buy Colombian coffee from a certain area, and you can even buy Colombian coffee from like a certain farm or something. You can get pretty small. There's one place that had the picture of the farmer on the bag,
Well, that's cool.
which, if I like their coffee, I'd be all over that, because that feels like you're really supporting them. And
Well, it's
anyway,
funny you
that's fun.
mentioned you like the darker, chocolatey, nutty roasts, but yet when it comes to cigars, you kind of prefer the lighter, not as deep, dark chocolate hitch in the face. Or
I do like. I don't like pepper. I don't
pepper.
like the
Okay,
spice.
okay, pepper.
Yeah.
By the way, what are you smoking to?
Well, because of what I'm drinking, I went with a lighter cigar. This is just an Oliva. We can't see it. There we go. Connecticut. But
I'm only laughing because of what Rich wrote. He likes a picture and he's on the Juan Valdez.
Juan Valdez. But guess what I'm drinking today? It has because we're talking about movies.
A
I am
big
drinking.
sweet Coca-Cola.
No, oh, that would have gone good with popcorn. No, I'm drinking John Wick's
Oh,
Blanton's, right?
nice.
Just which we're going to talk about the 5 B's of the movie. One is not Blanton's, but maybe it
No,
should. Maybe there should be
maybe
6 B's.
maybe it should be. Yeah, I'm having. What are you smoking tonight? Oh, you already told me that. I am doing a rather inexpensive cigar. This is a Victor Calvo Habano wrapper, and it's a nice inexpensive cigar. And then, yes, Dave, for you, I am having actually Elijah Craig Barrel Proof
Woo!
for whiskey tonight. So
You know, well, I guess just like everything else, right? I was gonna say, I last time I was smoking a Factory Seconds type of cigar, whatever. You know what I'm
factory
talking about.
smokes, yeah.
It's like a buck something, right?
Hmm.
Pretty decent cigar. And you said that one's like $5 or something. And so I think there's a lot of cigars out there that are, not the main line, that are pretty good smokes. And so that's I'm starting to think like these $15 cigars and stuff. But I guess it's like everything else, right? Like you can drink the inexpensive scotches, but then a single barrel, whatever, and all that stuff is.
Well, it's the same thing with watches too. You can go to Walmart and get a watch that looks good for $14.99.
I suppose, yeah.
It's the
So
same
yeah,
thing.
single origin from a very specific.
And Bruce is in the house. Welcome, Bruce.
Bruce.
So so all in all, you had a pretty good week.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the topic of the evening.
Yeah.
This was given to us by Bruce. And basically, this happened over on our forum. And so what we're going to do tonight, and you in the bar lounge and the barflies, you are an integral part of this tonight.
Oh, geez, this is going to go so bad.
Exactly. We need to get them more involved. So, according to Bruce, there are 5 B's that qualify to make a movie worth watching and to make a good movie. Now, you only need, and Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong, you only need 3 of the 5 to make a good movie. So let's review the 5 B's. Okay, so
I want the black bar over my eyes for this.
You have bombs, bullets, blood, breasts, and butts. Now remember, the breasts and the butts can be male or female depending on your persuasion. So we're being open about that. So what we'd like you guys to do is post a movie, and Dave and I will go back and forth taking turns to see if it. Yeah, 3 to 5 minimum. So it has to have 3 of those 5 to be considered a good movie. Now, if it has 5 out of 5, it's a blockbuster. But so what we want you to do is we'll take turns.
Can we say this is according to Bruce, right?
Well, no. It's saying that you have to have at least 3 of the 5 B's to make a good movie. We're not saying that that's the case.
Well, because I've been trying to think of some pretty good movies, right? Like so Shawshank, right?
Oh my God, my wife and I talked about exactly that movie at lunch.
But and you think, okay, it doesn't have those, but there is a shooting, so there's bullets.
There's bullets.
I think there's there's a bedroom scene. I don't think there's any boobs.
No, but there are naked men on top of a roof. So technically, there's breasts. There's butts and breasts. Then there's blood because remember when the warden shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
So that's got 4.
I'd argue 3. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. If it's got 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you guys.
And we talked about Hunt for Red October, right? Which is one of the most beautiful movies ever made. And that has bullets because there's a gun being shot, and there's bombs because you blow up a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's blood because somebody gets. All right. See,
so it's got the 3. It's got the 3. Right. So what we'll do here is that's how the game's going to work today. So our first. Okay. Oh, Bruce comes out right out of the gate. So do you want to take the first one, or do you want me?
Well, I've never seen it.
Okay, I'll take this.
We've been through this, but obviously there's got to be bullets.
The Godfather. Okay, so let's go bombs. No, there's no bomb. Well, no, there is no bombs. There is no bombs in that. Bullets. Oh, heck yes. There are billions of bullets because when, the Godfather gets shot and then his son gets riddled with bullets in the car. So that's bullets. Blood. Yeah, there's tons of blood in that movie. Breasts. Well, you could obviously argue because Talia Shire is the sister, and she was standing there. Now we're not qualifying. No, they don't have to be bare breasts.
Bruce. We need the butt and the breasts have to be uncovered. Otherwise, every movie has butts.
That's true, Bruce.
We need
a ruling, Bruce.
That doesn't make any sense. So here, I want to call it because B. Pete, one of our original barflies, is manning up Lefroy lore.
Oh, good stuff.
I got some of that. That's a powerful Lefroy Kudos to you, BP.
Oh, actually, Bruce did bring that up. Michael's first wife, when they were in Italy, when they were in Corleone, she started the car and the car blew up. So that's a bomb. So far it's got 3
Okay,
or
it's
4.
got 3
So
bullets, blood, and
right. So we have to get a ruling from Bruce. Do the breasts and the butts need to be bare?
they gotta be.
Well, it's Bruce's deal. So hopefully Bruce will write this and let us know. Okay, have you seen this movie?
No, I have not.
Do you
Do I want? You want to talk about Ratatouille? Now that's a good
Well,
movie.
wait a minute. Wait. Okay, well, we'll get there. So, The Dark Knight Rises. Okay, we'll wait for Bruce's ruling on this. But to me, breasts, whether they're covered or not, and butts, whether they're covered or not, because you have to argue that in certain movies, the way that the butt is portrayed in a type of clothing can be every bit as nice as if it's a bare butt. And vice versa with the breasts.
But I'm telling you, sir, if they're covered, every single movie has them, so you automatically start with 2.
Oh, yeah,
right?
maybe. Okay, I'll give you that. So The Dark Knight Rises.
Well, there's got to be
Bombs,
bullets, right? He's got a car
bombs and
that
bullets.
shoots them
Yes.
out.
Let me think. It's been and Amber. The Dark Knight Rises, the first one with Christian Bale. Am I correct in saying that? I won't wait for that. So I would say that definitely has 3 of the 5, so it qualifies for a movie. But while we're waiting for Bruce to, I love this statement. Hey, yo, Sonny stooped someone at the woman at the wedding. Michael White's dress was shown when she shyly revealed herself. So the God,
boy, this guy knows his 5 Bs.
Okay, yeah, and you know what? Tig Lily brings up a good point. The wet T-shirt look.
Yeah,
That's not bare. That's not bare. But before we go any further on these movies, I must say, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail for this.
Okay.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Now, see, you can't bring that up because we talked about this before, and when you really want to argue it, I'll bring up the research article. All right.
I knew you were going to do that. But who's the research article done by?
No, I'm telling you
Alfred
that
E. Newman from Magazine.
They compared what makes a Christmas movie and what doesn't, right? And everything that makes a Christmas movie, if you're going to define the Christmas movie has to have these things, Die Hard has them. And if you're going to say, well, that's not what we're going to count, then some of the Christmas movies that everybody would agree are Christmas are not like happens. We've been through, right? Happens during the holiday.
Exactly. Here's what we're going to do. This will be the 5 Bs of movies before Christmas. One of our shows will have to be
okay. We'll come back. We'll put it on the, what do they call that? The back burner.
The back burner. Okay. So we got some other movies here, and you get to take. Well, if you've seen the movie, So
I'm thinking. Well, obviously they're shooting in the Italian Job, right? I think the whole street blows up, so there's a bomb there. But I don't know if I don't recall if there's blood. And I was just about to say those are almost interconnected, because almost anytime there's lots of bullets, there's going to be blood. So that's almost a given that you get 2 for 1.
But the thing is, in the movie, well, not necessarily, because in the movie, depending on how they do it, they can shoot and not show the blood.
Right. So, I don't think. Oh no! Wait. Do they not? Isn't there a scene on a bridge where somebody gets shot and falls down into the water? An Italian Job. No, I think it'll be a different one.
Because that's the one. The Italian Job is the one with Edward Norton, correct?
Yes.
Where he kind of messes everybody up, right? Yeah. Okay, so so far every movie that we have reviewed qualifies under the 3 Bs. So let's see. Okay, now here's.
So I think we need to try to think of. All right. Well, this one doesn't count because this would not be. First of all, anybody argues that this is a great movie, I think Spider's probably the only one that's seen it.
Well, I've got to ask, because there was a movie, and I don't think it was called Tarantula, but being a Star Trek guy, William Shatner starred as a veterinarian in Prescott, Arizona. It was actually in
Wow.
Prescott, Arizona, and spiders completely covered the entire town. That's the final scene of the movie. Is they're in a
Wait.
cabin and they're coming
Yes.
back. Yes,
Yes. I
the,
know that movie.
right. So does it have blood? Yes. Does it have bombs? I think they tried to bomb the tarantulas.
Wait, is
Does it
this
have?
that movie?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Well, it
okay.
could be. I don't know. I don't know. Tarantula, because if I'm thinking the tarantula, and this thing was like a 3-story tarantula.
Yeah.
So we'll put that one on hold for KJ. Now here
So,
comes one. Here's an interesting one. I would say let's go back to Amber's with The Dark Knight Rises. Bombs, yes. Bullets, yes.
okay, so I guess I could, because we're not getting a ruling by Bruce here. Maybe he's a
Mhm.
little shy to come out and say it. I could say if they're prominently on display, like the Catwoman suit, that kind of thing.
Okay, so in
I
other words,
kind of get that. I kind of
whether
get
they're
that.
bare or not, if they are
Meant to be
meant to be
an
drooled
integral
over.
part of the
Okay,
movie.
I can get that. The 5 Bs,
Oh,
but see, Bruce, you're being biased here.
they're not necessary, but they guarantee pleasure.
Okay, now
I
here's
get what
one.
he's saying.
I
I get
do
it.
too. So
Not all movies have them, but if they
that's true.
have them, it's a wonderful movie.
Right. So here's one, and here's a perfect example. Did you ever see this movie?
No.
Okay. This movie is about two guys that are sitting in a restaurant for the entire movie discussing different things. Now, the guy that plays Andre, no, not Andre, the other guy, is Vizzini from A Princess Bride.
Uh-huh.
Way, way before he did Princess Bride. And it is a good movie, but it has absolutely zero. Hello, Tather. How you doing, buddy? It's zero. So no B's, but it is a good movie. So that brings, well, let me put it this way: it's a
Well,
good
so
movie.
that's I was gonna say that kind of messes the whole premise of this whole show up there. Because I was gonna say, let's try. It's easy to find these action movies, but let's find a great movie that doesn't have them. But Bruce is saying that that's true, like the Truman Show.
Right.
I don't think that has any of them.
Oh, Kingdom of the Spiders. That was it. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, the movie
Oh,
Debbie
gee,
Does
he
Dallas
needs
will not be
fired.
discussed.
Put him on the back burner, that guy. But no,
Okay,
so that spider movie I've told many people about, because
Kingdom of
I
the
remember
Spiders.
the ending is right there in a cabin. So
Mhm.
it's, spiders are taking over the city or whatever. They retreat to a cabin. They put boards and stuff all over every
Mhm.
window and door. They sleep through the night. They think they're safe, right? And then that's
And
when the scene you're
they
talking about, they
pan
pull
out.
back
Yeah,
the camera
exactly.
and
Mhm.
it's just one big cocoon.
That was all filmed
Yeah.
up in the Prescott area.
Oh,
The whole
really?
thing. Yeah. Mhm. They called it. Well, it was in the Verde Valley, which is up
Oh,
there. Okay, so here's one for you, and you get to take this one.
it's Shrek.
Based on the
Well,
5 Bs.
isn't Miss Shrek naked? No, she probably has a shirt on. Well, that's got nothing. I mean, there's not any blood in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's probably some bombs with the castle. I think. Yeah, that's not a.
Okay.
Is that a great movie though?
Shrek. It's a
Eh,
fun movie. It's a fun
eh,
movie. It's a Disney movie.
no.
Okay, give us another movie, Barflies. We're ready.
What is it? It's proving my point. All right, so let's try to. What do you? I mean, you got Star Wars. Star Wars has no blood, right? You can
No,
the laser
but
zappers are.
there are breasts. Excuse me, breasts, because that famous scene with Princess Leia laying on top of
That's not the
Jabba the
first
Hutt.
movie though. That's
No,
the
no, no. But
second.
it's Star Wars. It's the
What do
canon of
you
Star
do the
Wars.
whole series?
Well, okay, no. Actually, when she first appears in the Corvette with Darth Vader, and she's in that white sheer princess outfit, she's pretty pointy.
She's Madonna esque.
So we've got bombs, we've got no blood, but we have breasts, we have butts.
Well, we do
Yeah.
have bullets because of the
Mhm.
laser things.
Right. So that qualifies.
All right. So Amber, the problem is you're talking with a bunch of old dudes that are not probably gonna say most of the musicals are amazing movies for us. For us, right? Is there a musical you love, Dave?
Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Oh
I
yeah.
love that movie, Wizard of Oz. And actually, there was a movie that came out last Christmas that had Ryan Reynolds. It was a musical take on A Christmas Carol, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was wonderful.
Interesting.
It was
Interesting. So
here's one.
wait.
Do you
So
want
this is a no-brainer. Every James Bond has all of
everything?
it. Right.
Everything. That's what makes them great.
So it can be James Bond, whatever. It's got all, and Bruce is going to say, "Well, that's proving my point." The whole
Well, we're not arguing his point. We're just saying because this all came up because somebody had made mention about a movie in his thread, or was it your job?
I brought up Ratatouille.
Right. Well, we'll get to Ratatouille. We're going to get to that. But here's one, and I'm going to give you this one. First of all, have you seen that?
I've seen it more than once.
Oh, it's one of the greatest movies ever.
Are you shocked? There is no bullets though. Right there, it's all swordplay. Mm-hmm. There is blood because somebody gets cut.
Right.
That's it.
No.
There's no bomb.
You have the princess.
Yeah, but she's fully clothed. She's not scared.
Okay, but I thought we already determined that
are they on display?
Well, when she was rolling down the hill.
Oh my God, you're reaching. Bruce, what's the B rating of Princess Bride, please?
He brought it up, so I know he likes the movie. See, Bruce Jones. See, right down on the bottom, Bruce Jones.
I know, but I'm asking him what he would rate. Remember, he said you don't have to have them to be a successful movie. So let me ask you, because I knew we weren't.
If he says you don't have to have them, then what was the entire point of the 3 days of threads regarding that in your journal?
It's just stupid. That's why. 5Bs. But it is fun, because it's interesting because I know when he brought this up, it was kind of, I think years ago when he first brought up the whole 5B system, it was for kind of the idiotic movies, right? Like the old scary movies where they had ladies with no shirts on for no reason. Oh, see? Here's the ruling.
Okay, we've got a ruling. Breasts must be visible. Well, wait a minute, but then you got to qualify that. If they have to be visible, do they have to be totally visible, or can it be a low?
Oh, come on.
Well,
this is
come on. Dave. Listen, if you see Pam Anderson in one of her outfits, you would have to argue that they're on display.
3/4. That's our
now we're talking math.
3/4. No, but so I before we go on, because we can't do this for an hour and a half. I knew we were gonna talk about movies and things.
Right.
So do you still go to the theater?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you? Do you go to a fancy theater, or you just got the basic seats that kind of
you know where I live. Is there anything fancy here?
Well, I don't. You got old rich people.
Okay, again, no. We've got a couple of nice theaters. We've got the big thing is we've got that theater now. That where you go in and they've got the reclining seats and you can order lunch or dinner. In fact, one of them here. You go in and you get popcorn, and then when you leave, they fill the bag, and it's a huge bag of popcorn that you can take home with you. And then if you buy one of their T-shirts, you get free popcorn for that year. And the shirt's got a movie that they played, and then the seats recline, and you can have there's a full dinner menu, drinks, wine. Yeah. We don't go to that often. We've got a theater fairly close by. I will go to the theater when it is a big, like Mission Impossible. Something like that. I want to see on an IMAX screen. I want to see it that way. So other than that, though, no, we wait till it comes out, on stuff. I like that. As a millennial, all old people are rich.
Okay, so here's further definition by Bruce.
Okay, but see, these rules are changing here. And I realized, I just remembered why this came up on your forum, is because somebody was arguing the fact that Wall-E was a better movie than Ratatouille.
Right.
And I have to agree. I think Wall-E was an incredible movie. And there's none of the 5 Bs. None.
There's bombs.
Yeah, okay, you're right. There is
And there's
bombs.
bullets because there's zap zap. But that's it's
Yeah.
got 2.
Yeah, it's got 2. Okay, so now that we've done this big, huge circle, let's get back to Ratatouille. I've never seen it.
Dave,
I've never
that's
seen
like me not watching Godfather.
it. Yeah, I've never seen it. So tell me, does it qualify under the 5 Bs? Probably not.
Bullets and bomb, just 2.
Okay, but it's a good movie.
It's my favorite.
Really, out of all the Disney movies?
Mm-hmm.
See, my favorite out of every single Disney movie that's ever been made was 101 Dalmatians, the original, the cartoon.
See, I knew you were going to say an old school one.
Oh,
You're an
yeah.
old school guy.
I love
I can't see. I can't watch anything that's low res, black and white. That stuff bugs me. I can't get past that enough to really get into the movie.
Well, wait a minute. Whoa.
very much.
Low res, black and white. Now, does it have to be low res and black and white, or just low res or black and white?
Either way, if it looks old.
Okay, Schindler's List, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Oh, would you watch that? Did you watch it more than once?
We own it. Yeah, I watch it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why I watch it, and not getting into what's going on in current affairs, but I watch it because I think it's important, and I think movies and TV do a great job of this. I think movies are important to keep the narrative alive. I really do.
Right.
For instance, if you look at it this way, there has been no movies yet, really not documentaries, I'm talking about movies about 9/11. And yet you ask people, it's out of sight, out of mind. And I think that with Schindler's List, by watching it, it makes me realize what happens. Here's one that has all of them.
Oh, yeah?
Including flatulence. Have you seen Blazing Saddles?
No.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, what? Okay, that's the same reaction that you had about, you've got to see this movie.
Yeah.
It is Mel Brooks at his finest. To me, Young Frankenstein is the best of his movies, and then Blazing Saddles. You've got to watch it. It's
you know what? You know what we need to do for next week, and it won't take the whole hour and a half, is we each pick one movie for the other one to have to watch before.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Because I know you've got a ton that I haven't seen that you want to.
Yeah, I'm a huge movie. I mean, in our den, I've got a wall that's just all movies. I'm a movie fanatic.
And I'm obviously not the newest generation, but my attention span is noticeably shorter than it used to be. And some of these movies, like Wall-E or what you will see in Ratatouille someday, like the action, the fun part starts like halfway through, right? It gets much better after you kind of set up everything and all that stuff.
Right.
So a lot of times we'll start watching it halfway through.
Okay, so, Bonnie and Clyde. There's a good one. The original one with, Faye Dunaway and who was the other actor? Very famous actor. There was blood, bomb. There was everything in that movie. But, okay, I'm going to give you, since you're a Disney guy, and this should be very easy for you. I have the bare necessities. What movie is that? Oh, no, come on.
The Jungle Book.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's another one of my favorite all-time movies.
Yeah.
Actually, the new one, the one that's the live action with Christopher Walken plays the orangutan, King Louis. And
so that's the other thing I can't get into is remakes. That frustrates me. That if it was a good movie, they don't need to redo the thing. And I don't know that I've seen a movie. So, do you like that better than the original? Is there a remake that you like better than an original?
As far as Disney, no, because to me,
anything. Because they're
actually Star Trek, the new version of Star Trek's with Christopher Pine and Zachary Quinto as Spock. I like those better than the Star Trek motion picture that had all the original cast members from the TV show.
Yeah.
This goes without saying. Yes to all 5.
Everything. Everything. But Blanton's, does it have 6? 6 Bs. So there, the only movies I know of with 6 Bs are the Wick movies.
Yeah, that's true. The Last Scrooge.
That's got 0, right?
Well, it depends on. I mean, there's been so many Scrooge movies. That one I can't answer because I'm not sure which Scrooge she's talking about. If she's talking about the one that came out most recently, is a much darker version of Scrooge. And
Yeah, but is there guns? There's still probably no bullets or bombs or
no,
anything.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, give us another movie, guys.
So what movie have you seen the most?
Well, I know that a certain individual in here would argue that it's Apollo 13.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Now, there's bomb. Well, there's an explosion.
Right,
That's
it.
about it. Yeah,
That's it. No, but that's yeah, I watched that one several times. I think I had that on Laserdisc back in the day.
So I would say Apollo 13 and, because we've got DVDs and I'll pull out the Hustler with Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason.
Now, do you just play them in the background while you're doing stuff?
No.
Interesting. For me, it would actually be Hunt for Red October because I got into this habit when I was a freshman or sophomore. Anyway, when I was living in the dorms, I would have all of my classes at the first half of the day. So I'd get up early, go to my classes, and come home and take a nap to Hunt for Red October. I would put that on the Laserdisc player and fall asleep to Hunt for Red October.
Saving Private Ryan.
It's got Bombs, Bullets, and Blood. That's got 3.
Definitely.
I don't think there's the other 2.
No. But then again, the thing is, what I'd like to get is some of our better halves to say, what movies do they watch specifically, because they may get the latter 2 Bs, or at least one of the Bs, from somebody that they like.
You're never going to get my other half to answer that for you.
Oh, I know mine will. Sting. Any movie that Sting's in, and he's a horrible actor, but it doesn't matter. It's Sting.
Yeah. But what's that comedy duo, Drew Barrymore and what's his name, that are in 15 movies
Adam
together?
Sandler.
Yes, and I'll tell you, she's not home yet. I was looking for confirmation through the window there that it's funny because almost all these movies we watch at home, very rarely will we pick a movie to watch it. It'll just happen to be on. And those movies are on a lot. And anytime they're on, then that's where the remote stops. And no matter what point of the movie, is in, we'll watch those over and over.
Well, you know what the most watched movie right now in history, and the movie that is played the most across various theaters, or not theaters, but on the TV, various stations. Do you know what movie that is? And we've already talked about it.
It's probably Christmas Story.
Nope, Shawshank Redemption.
Really? You know that you read that somewhere?
Yes. And what you said earlier about anytime I see, and it drives my wife crazy, is if I see the Shawshank Redemption, by flipping through it automatically goes to it.
Right.
And she's
will you do this, that you'll stop and you'll watch it even if there's commercials instead of getting out the DVD? And right, we do that.
Absolutely.
And even Disney movies and stuff. And I'll say, we can switch over and watch it without commercials and stuff, but there's something about
it. Well, and we could also argue that we could bring in a TV like MASH. MASH has all of it.
Well, it was a movie.
Yes. And it definitely had the bear part of the B with Sally Kellerman in the shower.
Man, I miss that. I watched every episode of that. I don't know how many times. That was a great show.
It was. The one. There's 2 episodes of MASH that stick in my mind. The one that was done where it was done in black and white. Alan Alda directed it, and the one character was a news reporter, and he was
Yes.
just on that one and the last season. I mean the season finale,
Yeah.
when you find out that the chicken is actually a baby. Remember that's what caused Hawkeye to go flippy, is he was thinking he was blocking it, and
Mm,
remember she had to kill the baby to keep her quiet from the
yes.
North
Yeah.
Koreans.
Oh, that
That
sucks.
those
So
two,
I remember when that came out, we were living in Pennsylvania. I was tiny, like third or fourth grade, and my dad was a campus minister, which with a group of college students that he worked with all the time, and they got together and dressed up to watch the MASH last episode.
oh, that would have been cool.
That was very cool.
Well,
Remember,
there's certain TV shows that you remember the season or the series finales. The other one that sticks to my mind is the Bob Newhart show, and I don't know if you ever saw the series finale,
are you
but
talking about the one where he is innkeeper?
yes, yes,
Yeah, I
and he
used to.
wakes.
I don't
But
remember
did
the
you
end.
well, because there used to be the Bob Newhart show where he was a psychiatrist, and Suzanne Pleshette played his wife. So then the next Bob Newhart show was when they were, innkeepers in Vermont. Well, the series finale, he wakes up and he's next to Suzanne Pleshette, and he looks at her and goes, "You would not believe the dream I had." It was just beautiful. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful.
Well, and of course, the best part was Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Or Howard. Howard was good.
Who was Howard?
He was the airline pilot that always would just show up and say, "Hey, Bob." In fact, in college, that's what we did. We played a game called Hi, Bob. And every time somebody came in through a door or said "Hi, Bob" to Bob Newhart, you had to take a shot. And Howard came in and out of their apartment like 16 times in one little episode. And that, then you forget what's happening the rest of the time.
This is gonna make KJ sad. Rocky Horror Picture Show probably is only a 1, maybe a 2.
Well, it's got two. It's got
Skimpy.
breasts and boobs.
Yeah, that's it.
Breasts and butts. There is some blood, I think. And that's about it. I don't think there's no bombs, there's no bullets. I haven't seen it in a long time. But no, you could apply this to TV too, but in today's world on TV, all of them have the 5Bs. I mean, just that quick.
Well, I don't know what you're watching, buddy, but Friends doesn't have 5Bs.
No, but it qualifies under 3.
What are the 3?
Well, you have boobs and butts, for sure, because there was an article that just came out in USA Today when Jennifer Aniston was talking why certain parts of her were always showing in the show. And I guess it was because the studio was so cold.
Right, you're right, the 2, but there was no bullets, there's no bombs, there's no blood.
Okay, all right, I'll give that to you. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. No, yeah, so Amber's upset I haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You have never seen it?
That's integral to their relationship.
But no, if you go see it, you can't watch, because I know you can watch it, the original you can watch on DVD now, but you can't do that. If you're going to go see it for your first time, you have to see it live. You have to. You have to see it live.
Yeah, I don't know. So I was going to ask you this, but I already know the answer. Has the movies that you enjoy watching changed over time? And the answer for you is no, because you still watch all the old movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for instance, in the shop during the day, I keep Turner Classic Movies on TV. So it's got all the old movies.
Pete's mentioned this twice. I don't know. I assume he's just making a joke, and he said we haven't called him out for this, but that's probably one of those movies you'd find in the back corner of the video store. Huh?
Well, no, the pilot movie would have been, I guess, the first pilot before Tom Selleck actually took the role, and before the movie studio picked it up. The funny thing is that people don't know this, but Tom Selleck was the first pick for Raiders of the Lost Ark. He was offered Raiders of the Lost Ark before Harrison Ford was, and he couldn't.
Well, that would
because
not have
of-
been the same.
No, because even Quigley Down Under, no, it wasn't that
No.
good.
Yeah. Because I was the thing I've noticed is that I will not, by choice, watch movies with sad endings anymore. I kind of figure, because you get that emotional roller coaster ride with the movie, and I'm like, there's so much crap in the real world. I don't need to watch something for entertainment and be sad at the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, no, I can. Yeah, you want something that's uplifting, because obviously the reason why most people watch TV and the reason why most people watch movies is for escapism.
Escape, right?
Right.
So why would you escape and then be depressed?
Well, but see, I would argue it depends on the subject matter. If it's a true historical subject matter, and you and I talked about this,
Yeah.
is that Lawman Bass Reeves. It's a brand new show that just came out, and it's about the true story of the first African American deputy U.S. Marshal. Let me put it this way, and I'm going to get in trouble for this too. It makes Dances with Wolves, Yellowstone, and all these other ones that are coming out like crap. It is such a well done series.
Yeah.
So it's just incredible. And the other one that and you and I know this, we've started watching, is For All Mankind. I personally think it's one of the greatest shows on television. So
You're biased. Okay, I got a question for all the barflies and yourself. Best movie endings. Rudy is up there, right?
okay,
You know what I'm
I'll
talking
do. Yeah. Rudy. Yeah, is this just movies or is it TV shows too?
Well, let's stick with the movie show.
Okay, movies best ending.
And you got
I
to
have
have
to think about that one for a minute.
Why am I blanking on the movie? You Can't Handle the Truth. That's one of the best movie endings ever.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying.
Shawshank.
Yes, I would have to say yep. But see, but KJ brings up a real good point here as we're talking about this. Is that if you're not, I assume he means if you're not watching an emotional roller coaster while you're watching movies. I have been caught in that because I want the emotional roller coaster. I want the ups. I want. To me, when I watch movies, and I'm such a movie file that when I watch movies, it's literally being transported somewhere else. And that doesn't matter whether it's a drama, an action movie. The only movies I don't get into is the gore type movies. Like Saw. When they just cut you up just to cut you up. I'm not into that. But I can see where some people are, and I think. To me, the reason why you go to a movie theater, and if you've ever taken the time to look at go into a movie theater and watch people around you when they're watching the movie, to me, that's a magical experience, and it's something that we've lost. Because remember, before you could only go see a movie in a movie theater. You didn't have it on TV, and I think that, and even the theaters are different now. They're not the same.
Yeah.
But I like that. No, I like that emotional roller coaster. I really do. Schindler's
I guess different strokes for different folk because I like so you take something like Top Gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you'd say like, oh, are they going to make it? Oh, you're kind of on the edge of your seat kind of stuff. Is that an emotional roller coaster? Kind of, right? Because you got anxiousness and then like excitement and stuff, but there's not depression. The depression, the sad, that's the part I can do without.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, and the thing is, Amber brings this up. Two of my favorite movies.
Go ahead.
Two of my absolutely favorite movies: Interstellar and Inception. Inception, to me, it does have all 5 Bs. In fact, it has actually the 5 Bs and a TV because the female character is now a guy in real life, but that's a different story. Interstellar, to me, gives. Well, seriously, she is. She is now a guy.
Oh, go ahead.
And but Interstellar, what I loved about Interstellar was at the very end when he went and saw his mom, and his mom says, "Go get her." And so he knew. So it leaves you that hope that he's going to go across thousands of light years to meet her. So I thought that was great. Inception. Every minute of that movie, in my opinion, was great. And I'm not a huge fan of what's his face? Come on, he was in Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio. No, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. Although I've started to like him more, but Inception was unlike any other movie that's ever been made. Have you seen it?
No.
You need to. It's so unique. And see, that's the problem. Like you said earlier about why do remakes. There are a bunch of friends of mine that we talk about movies, and Hollywood has forgotten how to make movies. In other words, they have no new ideas. They just keep making the same old drivel over and over again. And Inception was one that was just. It's one of those movies you have to see because there's no way to describe it other than what they do is it's about dreams. And so you have 1 level of dreams, 2 level of dreams, 3 level of dreams, 4 level of dreams, and these guys actually go in and create your dream. And they can change the narrative in the world, and it's just an incredible movie.
Well, that's fine. Well, I can be down with it should not. I wouldn't use the word should, but if you're watching it and not having any reaction, I would get what's the point in watching it, and I would just say that I'm happy with all of those except for the sad part, just because, like what I said, there's enough stuff to be stressed about and sad about and all that stuff. But
No,
another great ending. It was what Usual Suspects, right? Kaiser Sose and that whole that was a nice twist.
Well, another one that had an incredible. Now, in some endings, because I like to go on the journey. In other words, I like for the director and the producer to trick me. So, in other words, lead me down this primrose path where I think I know where the movie's going, and I can look back and say, I know what the movie is going to be like. I know what it's going to be like. Well, there's one movie that will lead you down a path and you think you know the ending and you think you know exactly what's going to happen. And the very last 2 minutes of the movie, it literally, you will end up with your mouth, they'll be running credits and you'll be going, what the bleep happened? What the hell just happened? And that's called, oh God, I just spaced it.
The build-up, Dave. Come on.
Yeah, I know, and I can't remember the name of the movie. Okay, actually, we'll have to wait for Tig Lily to type the movie because it's one of her favorite movies, Imposter. It's got Gary Sinise and what the heck's her name? She's really good looking. But yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, Tarantino movies are just quality. I mean, I love Tarantino movies. Pulp Fiction is one of my favorites. Always will. But yeah, those type of movies, I like movies that literally when you walk out, I mean, I think, when you walk out of the theater and the entire group you go with or your spouse is just talking about it and saying, wow, can you believe this? Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Those are the type of movies I like. And sometimes, they don't end the way you think they're going to like, and then you just kind of, you go out and you, well, okay, here's a perfect example of a movie that you are emotionally drained at the end of it, and you're upset, and you don't feel good about it, and that was The Passion of the Christ.
The what?
The Passion of the Christ. It's Jim Caviezel, who plays Jesus, and what he goes through. And when you walk out of that movie, you're spent. You're done. You want to go basically drink a fifth of scotch. It's just,
so what's interesting is you say you don't like the Saw movies because they're just gore.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like almost any horror movie, but the Saw movies, because to me,
really?
The twisted puzzles he comes up with, that's what's interesting to me, is how far can they push this? And you think, okay, this is what they're doing, and it gets even more twisted. And that I find interesting.
I can honestly say I've never seen one of the Saw movies.
Oh, well, there you go. It's not just gore and blood. I know a lot of horror movies are like that.
Mm-hmm. But I like movies that are suspenseful too. The original Friday the 13th and the original Halloween. The very first one to me is still the best Halloween there ever was, because you just don't know what's coming around the next corner.
Okay, so 2 movies in that genre, newer, but Misery,
Okay.
right? That one is like that, and Silence of the Lambs. To
Hmm.
me, that one was intense. The first time you see that one's crazy.
And that's, I hate to say it, that's another movie and PB's right. Chinatown is, and I remember when Jack Nicholson and they got the knife to the side of his nose and they do the slice. That was considered hugely a problem back in 1974 that people weren't going to be able to handle that. And it's a great, and if you haven't seen Chinatown, Dave, it's a kind of a detective private eye movie like Sam Spade. Great movie. Great movie.
That's one in San Francisco, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But okay, let's pick other favorite movies. One of my favorite movies is one of the most unique movies that's ever been made. And I hope to God they do not remake it, and I know they're planning to, and that's Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell. If you haven't seen that, you need to.
Oh, yeah?
It's the type of movie where you go on a ride. It's literally like strapping into a roller coaster and just going on a ride.
All right. Well, one of my favorite movies they should not have remade was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I agree. The
That
original is
first
the best.
movie is wonderful.
Yep.
The second one, a waste of time.
And now there's a third one. It's going
Is
to go
there?
into the it hasn't been put out yet, but it's going to go into the history of Willy Wonka. And it's like
I seem to recall that.
yeah, I don't want to see that. I like the original with Gene Wilder, and that's it. You know? And that's
Yes.
like apparently Big Trouble in Little China they're going to remake, and the guy that's going to be in Kurt Russell's is going to be Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. No, it's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right.
think you have to be careful. Oh, there's another classic movie, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Absolutely, one of the best movies if you like westerns.
So before the new movie theaters where you could order dinner and wine and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
what was your go-to movie snack at the snack counter?
Milk Duds.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Do you crunch
and
the milk duds or do you suck the chocolate off of the
suck the
outside?
chocolate off.
Yes. There you go.
Snow Caps.
Oh yeah? All right.
Snow Caps, Raisinets, and Goobers.
Goobers. Get down with
Sure.
some goobers. Did you do the whatever butter smelling substance they had on your popcorn or no?
Absolutely. And then as we found out later that Reese's Pieces dumped into your popcorn make for a magical treat as well.
Do you do? I've heard about that. I've never.
It's
done
good.
that.
I don't do it anymore, obviously.
I can't
because,
imagine the mess it makes on your hand, but
yeah, well, and then when you have glucose issues, you don't want.
yeah, boy, that was the days before the A1C test, right? You'd have the 45-gallon Coca-Cola and the 15-gallon tub of popcorn, and yeah, you'd have that all done before the what to think of what. See, PB asked me stuff that I'm not that CinemaScope having been in Laserdisc. I don't
Well,
know.
CinemaScope, they tried to. I know
That's the wide.
Right, and that's another great movie. It's a mad world.
Well, I like that. I mean,
And
remember that was new. Like when before Laserdisc came out, if you watched a movie at home, they were cutting off the edges of the movie to fit your TV sets. And so Laserdisc was, I believe, the first opportunity you had to see it with the letterbox version, right? Is what they call it, the black bars.
I have a feeling that P Beat is around our age, because some of the movies that he's mentioning, North by Northwest, which is really about an insurance salesman, but that's a different story. But yeah, some of these movies are classics, and see, I think that's why I like the older movies. Is they were just so original, you know, in their concept. Their original, like the very first Alien, when Alien.
Oh, wait, but the first one was Aliens, right?
No, that was the second one.
Oh, I thought it was like Star Wars where it came out first. So I think that one was more popular then, right?
It was because it was more action. But the original Alien movie, they did not use as much of a music soundtrack. So when the lighting, you know, when some guy was walking down a gangway, all of a sudden the alien was there, and literally people screamed and wet themselves in the movie theaters. I mean, it was 1979. So they were experimenting back then, and
Yeah.
I don't know how good because now there's an Alien series that's going to be coming out on Hulu.
Okay, well, let's another way original concept. Well, maybe it's not, but to me it was Castaway,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where it was just Tom Hanks by himself for
Right.
almost the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing piece of
But see, that's a
movie.
movie that it's funny. KJ was talking about going on the roller coaster ride. It's the same way because to me, and we have it, and I've watched it a couple of times. But the first time you see it, and then they
Yeah,
cut away, and it's 5 years later. That
yeah.
transformation that Tom Hanks made was just
Oh,
phenomenal. And then you
amazing.
go back and you think, okay, I'm excited. Him and his fiance are going to get back together. She gets in the car. They're going to drive up. Wait,
Yeah,
I don't think so. And he goes back. And then at the end, I love the ending because he sees that girl
yeah,
with and in a way, I think people want resolution to that. They'd love to see another one to see, but I
yeah.
don't. I don't want the
Well, see,
resolution.
I'm glad that they did that at the end. Otherwise, I'd been even more upset. But see, that's where I would just like to have seen him ended up with his wife again, like the
Right.
happy, happy ending, right? And you
Right.
don't get so to me
Well,
that movie would have
you
been
do
better.
because when she comes up, when that girl comes up and says, cowboy, are you lost, cowboy, whatever the
No,
case may be,
I
and
get
then
it.
you know that he's going to go back, or at least that's your hope that he's going
Right.
to go back and meet her. So I like movies that let you kind of finish uh, that in itself. I mean, I think that that's good. So, so have we really? Did we solve anything with the 5Ds?
No, not one little bit when Bruce said that they don't have to have them to be a good movie.
But it was a great subject. We got to talk about
It
movies, which
was.
to me, I am a movie fanatic, and
Yeah.
I really am. I mean, I am so excited that the TSC Con has a movie theater, believe it or not, because I think it's just I like to see movies in the big theaters because you have that interaction, and the first time you see a movie, um, like I've been bad though. When now, especially with the streaming services, you can say, well, I can go see the movie now or wait a month and it'll be on my
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if I'm.
it really now that there's the nicer theaters. So here's the evolution, right? That was the only way you could see it with good sound and good picture and all that stuff for a long time.
Mhm.
But when DVDs came out, two things happened. One, you could see it less expensive buying the DVD than taking a family to the theater.
Absolutely. Hmm.
And the other one was um, that's when I got older and more irritated with you'd have the sticky floor and somebody talking through the whole thing anyway. And I'm like, screw this. I would rather sit where I'm not going to be interrupted on a couch. You can hit pause to go to the bathroom, all that stuff. Now I can
Well,
see like,
let's be honest. The pause going to the bathroom
well,
has come
you
with
know what I'm
age.
saying, or I'm a little hungry. Instead of running out to refill your soda, you can hit pause
But
and
but let me give you a counterpoint to that. And
mhm.
see, everybody in the Barflies, this is our first real controversial show. So welcome. Anyways, no, the one thing that bothers me about the pause button is a 90-minute show, and watch. Within 3 seconds of me saying what I'm about to say, you're going to see a comment that an hour and a half movie could take you from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. because either the phone will ring. Oh, can you pause that?
Yeah.
Or somebody needs to go get some coffee. Oh, can you pause that? Or a plethora of other things that could happen. And I sit there and I'm the type, oh, there won't be a posting, but there was a really nasty look.
Mhm.
No, I like to watch a movie from start to finish. I like to because I literally lose myself in the movie. And
Yeah,
that's the thing I don't like about the click, click, click.
yeah,
Exactly. See, I wish that more movies on DVD would have intermissions and that you couldn't press the pause button. I mean, I know The Godfather does. It actually has an intermission.
yeah. All
Oh,
right.
there's a good question. You take it first.
Well, I'm trying to think of one. I mean, the so the only ones I can think of are like the original Star Wars, because again, I was young when my dad took me to that, and I don't necessarily remember watching the movie, but I distinctly remember riding home in the car after seeing that, and we had the little circular air vents, and I would grab those and pretend like I'm shooting, like I'm in the X-wing fighter and stuff like
That's
that.
cool.
And that was the first movie I remember going to the theaters to see, and first sci-fi, all that. So like that was like a whole new world that opened up. So
Well,
probably
I've got two. The first one would have been Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because when I was a kid, my mom and my dad took us to Buena Vista Theater. It was a huge, one of the old-fashioned theaters, and it was amazing because as soon as everybody walked out of that movie, the first thing they did was look straight up, because it was really the first movie that talked about aliens and our possible contact. So that's one, and the second one was more of a traumatic thing. For some weird reason, my old man and my mom decided, because we had drive-ins, we also did drive-ins. That's the thing we didn't even touch on. And so we went to the drive-in, and there was a double feature, because you could go in for $3 a carload. You hook up that stupid speaker that weighed 400 pounds onto your window, and there was two movies. Now I'll name both movies. I'll let your imagination tell me what the first movie was about. The first movie was called Three the Hard Way. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes, yes. The second movie was The Exorcist, the original. Now I'm like 6. Okay, I'm like 6 or 7, and I'm sitting between my mom and my dad, and of course the first movie, Three the Hard Way, had every one of the fives, had them all, and they were bare. But The Exorcist, it starts out, the original Exorcist, if you've seen it, starts out very, very, suspenseful and creepy. And then there's a point where they show where Linda Blair, her eyes roll up in the back of her head when she really becomes the demon. From what my dad told me and my mom told me as I got older, I started screaming so loud, jumped in the back seat, thought that I had been invaded and I screamed from this, the De Anza Drive-In Theater. I'll never forget this, De Anza Drive-In Theater, all the way to where we lived on the east side of town, which was about 30 miles. Did not stop screaming, did not sleep that entire night.
Way to go, Dad.
And to this day, I can't watch that movie. I can't watch it. I absolutely cannot watch it. So so to answer PB, that was probably the one that had the biggest impact on me. And of course, being Catholic, the first thing you think of is you don't let demons anywhere near you, because guess what? They're just going to jump right in. So yeah, that's Sharon's was He's in the House. Oh, wait a minute. That was what movie was that? Where they call on the phone and they say, "Have you checked the children?" And then you hear, "He's in the house."
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
First movie, E.T. Cute movie, good ending.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater too. Wow, is that era? Is that, and it was who are the little creatures that you get them wet? The Gremlins.
Gremlins. Oh yeah, I did see that in the theater.
That got a little scary for me at that age.
And then 2001, probably the first amazing science fiction movie. It was 2001. And what's amazing is when you look at 2001 now, and we're in 2023, you go, "What the hell happened?"
That's right.
That's another movie that is one that, like what you said about emotions, just leaving you just drained. Apocalypse Now. And anybody who served in the military can kind of, it was a rough movie.
Yeah. We just saw All Quiet on the Western Front.
Excellent movie.
So that was the same thing. Yeah, it was a very well-made movie, very good movie. Again, but not the best ending. I wouldn't watch it again, but that's kind of intense near the end.
Well, I think, so what's one movie, and I think we talked about this, one movie that you would watch just over and over and over and over and over, no matter how many times? And to me, it would be like Shawshank Redemption, Apollo 13, stuff like that.
You make me want to watch Apollo 13 again.
Mm-hmm. It's a great movie.
You know what's funny is that because it was Red Hunt for Red October and stuff like that, but it's funny because I think about, well, I'm going to watch that again, and I'm thinking in my head, well, this is what's going to happen. I'm like, all right, I don't need to watch it again.
One ping visiting,
I got it.
one ping only. Well, see, and that's okay. So here, okay,
Cold,
here's
cold and hard.
cold and hard. Okay, so what are movies that you remember lines from? That I mean, just pop into your head. That's the one ping Vasily. Hell, we use that in the shaving form.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and it's Die Hard.
yeah.
That's got a ton of them.
Uh,
It used to be the Eddie Murphy stuff, right? Didn't he have a bunch of one-liners and like what was it? It's Beverly Hills Cop and stuff like
mhm,
that.
yeah. Which they're making Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Are
And
they
it's got the
with him?
original cast. Yep, the
Fargo.
original cast.
Fargo. That was a good. Now,
Yeah.
see, that's one that's like it's a slow movie, but boy, that's a good one.
It's warped. I mean,
Yeah.
it's twisted. It's
Yeah.
um, the yeah, those type of movies. I like the movies that are mind benders. You know. Um, but you know, okay, what movie for you is the funnest movie you've ever seen? In other words, you come out, you're happy, you're just like, oh, that was great. That's you're bouncing your steps, you're just loving it.
Well, I don't know. I would, it's what do you want to call it? Like a bubblegum kind of movie, but it's got to be stuff like Top Gun, that it's like action and the music to it is just
Mhm.
like, I'll tell you, there was nothing more thrilling than when the new one came out and you hear that, like, what is it, like, and you're just like,
Yeah.
and because that was like, not only was it, you know, jet fighters and the music and all that stuff, but it was all these throwbacks to what, like 30 years ago or something like
Right.
that.
Well, see,
These
they did that
references.
sequel right because most of us saw it when we were young, fairly
Yeah.
young, and then to come and see the fact that Tom Cruise looks exactly the same, that bastard. But that's a different, But yeah, so movies like Amber says, The Little Mermaid, Weekend at Bernie's, Blazing Saddles, movies that you come out and they're having, to
Hey,
me,
what about Weekend at Bernie's? What is this? Like that's not an impactful movie to you, was
it's
it?
fun. It's
That was
enough.
funny though. Okay, yeah, the fun
Raiders,
movies.
for me,
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Talking about bubblegum movies that are comic book style, Errol Flynn, that entire series, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I even like the ones that people didn't like. I thought they were great.
Wait, do you like the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the terrible one
I like
where
them
he
all.
pulls his heart out and all that stuff?
Oh, the Kalimar. Yes,
The
that was
tricky
Temple
one?
of Doom. That was Temple of
Yeah.
Doom.
Oh,
That
I
was
saw
actually,
that
but
once. That was enough.
chronologically, Temple of Doom happened before the original Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, of course. There we go. There's classic.
Well, again, the same time that MASH was out, my dad was doing this. He would do movie nights for the college students where he would have to rent from some company the reels to play movies, and he would do Flash Gordon, like the old school Flash Gordon movies.
Uh-huh. But the thing is, he as soon as he posted that, all I could think of was this: may I pet your dog? Does your dog bite? And the dog bites him. You said that your dog did not bite. He's not my dog. I mean, I love those old movies. Jewel of the Nile, another classic. There's so many movies. That,
the what is it? Shoot, what is it? The 11, the 12, the 13, the bank
the
robbery.
Oceans. Oceans. Yeah,
those are just fun movies. I love
American movie classics had them all. They were doing a marathon last night, and we watched two of them. Yeah.
Can I say the last release that was all women was bad? And it wasn't because it was just bad. They like forced that one in there.
Well, the best one was the original with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis. That by far is the best one. But the ones with Brad Pitt and George Clooney were excellent. They were fantastic.
Those two guys are awesome together.
Yeah.
And then Matt Damon and who's his buddy?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yes.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. That is a great movie. And then what's the poker one with the Russian guy? Oh, come on. You know what I'm talking about?
Give me. But it had him and Affleck in it.
No. It just had Ben Affleck, and he was the poker player, and the Russian guy that played poker, and he'd open up the Oreos whenever he was
Oh, I
bluffing.
don't think I saw that.
You haven't. Rounders.
No.
Rounders is
No,
that
I have
movie.
not seen it.
That is a good movie.
But and then you have epic movies. Wall Street, one of the greatest
Yeah.
movies ever.
Yeah.
There's just, and then of course the newer stuff, Avatar. I mean, just incredible movies.
Yeah.
I thought Avatar was fantastic. The Hustler. We were talking about that. As far as classic film noir, nothing beats The Hustler. And believe it or not, they did the same thing that Maverick, like Maverick did, is they waited 40 years, and then Tom Cruise and Paul Newman played in The Color of Money. And so when movies do that, okay. So here's one last thing before we go. What movie do you think that you've seen that they could never remake to give it any justice whatsoever? To me, it's Big Trouble in Little China. They could never do that again, I don't think.
Well, they would screw that. That's why I said I don't like remakes. I would say I have to think Shawshank. You cannot improve on that. All the actors, every scene, it was damn near perfect.
It was. What's another one that? Robin Hood, the original Robin, not the old Errol Flynn Robin Hood, but the Robin Hood with Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
I thought was a fantastic movie. But then they remade it most recently with the guy that played in Gladiator. They remade it, and it just wasn't good in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think that happened. So, well, let's make last call for the Barflies. Any final movies that you want to have this crack team of Siskel in episode 1?
You said crap team? I think you're right. Team up.
No, but this has actually been a fun show because I love movies.
Yeah. Well, it makes me want to, I was going to say, there's some things I think about doing in my retirement days and how I think about these movies I want to watch, but I'm not ready to commit 2 hours or whatever. Plus, I used to have a really nice home theater, surround sound, all that stuff. Right now, because we've got a tenant in the house, I can't even crank up the 2 speakers I've got. So I keep thinking when I retired, having a nice big TV and just watching some of these movies, with the sound cranked up. That's one thing I look forward to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they couldn't.
No.
That is what it is. Yeah, you couldn't remake that thing. People be comparing.
Well, I guess they're making Highlander again. I guess they're remaking that. But see, when you talk about Bond movies, I have always been a Sean Connery guy. Period. I didn't like Roger Moore. I thought that Pierce Brosnan was going to do a great job because of Remington Steele.
Yeah, you didn't like him?
No, I love Remington Steele, but I didn't like him as Bond. He was too much. He was too much like Roger Moore. The kind of this, I'm prim and proper. Where Connery was more. So Daniel Craig and Sean Connery are my two favorites.
Daniel Craig and Sean Connery are like opposites. They were both good, but very different Bonds.
Yes, but they still have that rough edge to them, where I think that Roger Moore was very, very prim and proper. And same with Pierce Brosnan. If
business 007?
Yeah, if Pierce Brosnan would have played his Remington Steele role as Bond, I think he would have done good.
Yeah. Well, that was a good show too, Remington Steele.
No, Remington Steele was a lot. But one of the best shows was Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, Moonlighting.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great, back when he had hair.
Yeah. All righty, buddy.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for, and I want to put a big thanks for Bruce. Bruce, this episode was driven by you, and we really appreciate that. He mentioned Sean Penn, and you got one movie you have to throw in there is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You have to. And that's got all of them. Phoebe Cates.
End it with the 5 B's, buddy.
That's right. So, anyhow, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us at 6 p.m. Pacific. We are sitting at 60 as of right now, 60 subscribers. So, please tell your friends. We'd like to get bigger. And again, Dave will put that across the screen here in a minute, I think. Where to and please email us too if you have something that you want us to see or to do. Please let us know, and we will definitely get there. So other than that, join us next week at 6 p.m. Pacific, and who knows what the subject matter will be. I'm going to put it on Dave this week. All right, guys, have a good night. Take care, everybody. Say good night, Dave.
Night, Dave.
Night.